Just like that.
Real hard.
Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you 2 weeks on after my hernia operation about how my recovery's gone, and we're going to go for a run, see how that goes. So stick around and we'll go through it all now. So welcome back to the channel. I'm Dan. I'm a junior doctor currently living and working in London in the UK. Today we're going to be talking about my hernia operation. So if you missed that video of me having my hernia operation, go check that video out in one of these slots. So just to recap, it was a day case surgery. I had it at Kingston Hospital here in London, and it was for a small epigastric hernia. And I'll go through what a hernia is in that last video, so go check that out. It is now day 12 since my operation. Went very well, very uneventful. Being a doctor, it's very different being on the other side. And to be honest, I like to moan about the NHS, but I was really impressed. Going back to the beginning, day 0 to day 4. So I mentioned it in my first video, but the effects of anaesthetics can be quite powerful, and I was really well warned by both the anaesthetist and the surgeon of this period. However, even though I was told about it, I didn't really appreciate just how powerful they were. So in this first couple of days, I felt brilliant. I felt warm, nice. I felt brilliant. I had no pain, and I didn't realise just how much of that was the anaesthetic, which is kind of scary. It was quite an insidious feeling of bliss. It was not until the drugs and the pain, particularly the pain relief, wore off, that I started to appreciate, oh, that was probably the anaesthetic. It's weird because the anaesthetist and the surgeon both told me, do not make any big life decisions in this period. And I thought, yeah, I can handle it. And then looking back, I just realised how insidious that feeling was. So I was quite keen for the drugs to wear off in the end. They wore off at the wrong time. I was sat in a cafe having walked there. All of a sudden, this pain in my tummy started, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get home. I need to get out of here. So yeah, like I said, it sort of all wore off at the wrong time, but I survived.
Nothing hits harder than life.
So my key tip for anyone that's going through an operation in this period is do less than you think you should, because you are highly medicated and you may not know about it. Those are my 2 tips. Do with them what you will. So then from day 4 to day 10, my sort of focus changed. It was less about pain relief and more about wound management. So I had a very small incision that was at the top of my tummy. It was sewed, which became a scab, and I had a waterproof dressing that was put over it. And in general in this period, I was starting to live my life a bit more normally. I wasn't running marathons, but if you'd like to see me run a marathon, click here.
Perfect.
Sorry. I wasn't running marathons, but I was being more active, starting to get my step count up again, starting to walk places, and if I was having an active day, it really took it out of me. So I was still definitely very fatigued and not able to do as much as I normally would. I would often have a nap that would probably be half an hour, an hour.
You want to take a nap?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then. Good night.
However, that all wore off, and by sort of day 10, day 11, I was feeling much more myself. So when I knew I was having the operation, I had some thoughts around going back to work, and I thought I was being a bit soft. I may have been able to get through a shift without pain, or I was able to walk maybe enough to get through a shift, but I would have been absolutely wrecked at the end of a shift like that. So don't go back to work too early would be my takeaway point from this kind of period of recovery for anyone that's having a similar sized operation. So then moving on to day 11 to day 16, 17, which is today. I didn't start work, like I said, until about day 11, day 12. I was, like I said, very grateful for that. I think at this point I've really started to come back to normal. The key thing with hernias is you don't want them to come back. So they're caused by a weakness in the abdominal wall, and that is what the hernia comes through. So you've repaired a abdominal wall defect or weakness. You don't want to put too much strain on that wound whilst it's not fully healed. So the surgeon has told me I can't lift weights for 6 weeks, and told me that 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks is when I should go back to swimming and jogging, and it should be very light. So that's what I'm trying to do today. To be honest, I'm pretty nervous about it. I really don't want there to be any issues, but at the same time, getting back into some activity is important in your recovery.
Ooh, you're hard.
Got a park run this morning, so I'm going to go do that and come come back and say hello. I'm back from the run.
What's going on?
I didn't feel much. I felt, to be honest, physically it was fine, but I felt more in my head, quite nervous. I ended up spending probably the first lap actually holding where my scar is, just to try and sort of like give it some support. Equally, I was probably running about 10% faster than I could actually walk. Hopefully, as time goes on, I will just become more comfortable with the fact that it's definitely healed. Going back to weights will be the next thing. I'm gonna wait until 6 weeks. At that point, I'm gonna wait to do more heavier weights. I'll build it up over a month. So that's how I'm getting on. So in general, really good. And like I said, really pleased, really impressed with the service that I got. Very grateful to everyone, my family, Charlotte, my friends. Have to be very grateful for all that. I think that's the doorbell. And I'm gonna wrap up the video. Like, subscribe, it makes a massive difference. If you could just, if that was helpful at all, or you think it's a useful video, please, please, please just like it. Like the video. I have to go onto the doorbell now. Like the video, please, like it. Please. Thanks. See you later. Bye.